What's up, y'all? Alex is back here, and what day is it today? I feel like I'm forgetting something. October? Nope, it is Nudie Magazine Day for 8/21/24. Shout out to Billy Madison and shout out, rest in peace, Norm MacDonald for one of the best lines ever, October. So let's start it off with my polls for this week, and here's what we got. Starting off with Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, published by Marvel. This is issue 2. This is written by Erica Schultz, drawn by Michael Dowling, and I'm a huge fan of Erica Schultz. She wrote Hallows Eve, she wrote X-23, Deadly Regenesis. She showed up at my local LCS's 20th anniversary, and she signed these sweet bad boys for me. You know what? I follow her. Her writing is excellent. So let's kick it off with Daredevil, Woman Without Fear. So the thing about, if you're confused and you haven't been following comic books whatsoever, Daredevil, Woman Without Fear is actually Elektra. And Elektra is probably one of my first childhood crushes, other than Olivia Newton-John. I watched Xanadu as a kid way too many times, and I've roller skated into brick walls way too many times to try to get to the secret disco roller skating rink where Olivia was. But all in hindsight, I'd rather have Elektra as a girlfriend than Olivia. Allegedly, she pushed her ex-husband off into the ocean off a boat. All right, anyways, let's get started with this comic book. So, what we have here is the new Punisher. All right? It was Joe Garrison. So, I'll get into him for a minute. But Elektra turned into Daredevil with this issue. Issue 25, Volume 6 of Chip Zdarsky's and Marco Checchetto's run, where Daredevil killed somebody and he decides to turn himself in and go to prison, and for Elektra to prove her love to Matt Murdock, she donned the Daredevil costume, which is badass. I'm not sad about it. I actually freaking love it. And that's where the beginning of Elektra's Daredevil happens. Let's get into Joe Garrison. All right, so last run of Punisher is the storyline behind Joe Garrison. He's an ex-SHIELD agent, and, you know, like Frank, his family gets killed, and so he dons the Punisher. You know what? This is written by David Pepose, drawn by Dave Witcher, and I think it only was a 4-issue run. I didn't totally love it because, being a Punisher fan, I want Frank Castle. And after Jason Aaron's run of Frank Castle, the volume before this, he gets transported to another world where he's trying to redeem himself and save kids. All right, that hasn't gone anywhere yet. So, yeah, now we got a new Punisher, Joe Garrison. It's not bad. It wasn't my favorite, but let's go back to Daredevil, Woman Without Fear. Awesome art, awesome story. I have not read this yet. I'm super excited to see where this goes. And, you know, Erica's just killing it with all her projects. And she just posted on her Instagram that she's going to be writing the new X-23 series, who I'm a huge fan of, and I believe that comes out in December. If you like this shit, pick it up. Here's the next one. Not that one, not that one. All right, speaking of Marco Checchetto, I am not even a Spider-Man fan at all. Like, he's not something I collect. I collect X-Men, I collect the weird shit, but you know what? This is written by Jonathan Hickman, drawn by Marco Cicchetto, and it's beautiful. Apparently, I wasn't reading comic books at this time, but there's another Ultimate spin-off, but I only caught this one. So in this storyline, it's a different universe, and Peter Parker lived his whole life as a photojournalist, kind of the same, but like he didn't realize that he had powers. And so Iron Man here left him a poison spider, be like, hey, have you ever felt something in your life that's been missing out? And the dude's like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, I've been missing out on something, right? I feel like I haven't been doing something. So he gets bit by the poison spider, and this is a new timeline of sorts where Osborn's son takes on the Green Goblin, and Peter Parker and Osborn are friends. Green Goblin. There's so many great things I can say about this series. It turned me into a Spider-Man fan. So if you're always on the fence about Spider-Man, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I ever see a ASM in the wild, number 300, I will pick that shit up for cheap. But there's way too many Spider-Man titles for me to keep up on, for me not totally loving this character. And there's Mysterio showing up. That's fucking badass. Look, this series has been amazing. Pick it up. If you're a new or old Spider-Man fan, Hickman is killing it, and Cicchetto is killing it with the art. Next thing I picked up, by Mark Millar, drawn by Ramirez. And you know what, to be honest, I forgot this was on my pull list. And this originally came out on Image, the first series. This is Image, and now this issue is coming out on Dark Horse Comics, issue 1. I really enjoyed the first series of this. A bunch of Latino kids get bit by vampires. They put on some lucha libre masks, and they start fucking fighting crime. They also showed up in Millar's Big Game, which I didn't totally love. It's kind of wonky. I don't love stories where everybody dies and then at the end of it they're like, just kidding, timeline fixed. That's basically Big Game, so I'm sorry to ruin it for everybody. But I'm excited to read this. I enjoyed the first series a lot. And so, yeah, I'm moving on. All right, so big fan of Tony Fleece. This is Local Man, issue number 13, published by Image Comics. And it's also co-written by Tim Seeley, and they share art duties on this. If you don't know Tony Fleece, pick up Stray Dogs. He's also writing Feral. He's also writing Army of Darkness, which is probably like one of the best Army of Darkness adaptations because, like me, I went through all the alternative endings of the movie, and where he wakes up in a cave and the apocalypse happened, that story picks up there in that thing, and it's really true to the movie, and it's brilliantly written. So what we have with Local Man is Local Man was a part of a super group, a superhero group, and it's kind of like a throwback to the Image comic books like X-Force, Brigade, all those comic books that came out. And the cool thing about this comic book is when you flip it over, they give you stories back to when Local Man was a superhero. Let's see here. And every single issue is like this. Both writers and illustrators are killing it on this book. I love this book. I'm excited to see where it goes. He shows up back into his hometown. Everybody fucking hates this guy. And he's carrying around the dog still. And he's trying to figure out, like, the superhero thing is it's still reminiscent in his hometown. And he's trying to basically clean it up and give himself a good name. I love this series. I recommend this series. Worth the pickup. All right. For this next issue, Wolverine Revenge, issue number 1. And this is also written by Jonathan Hickman, who I just critically acclaimed for his run on Ultimate Spider-Man, and is drawn by the classic Greg Capullo. So, I picked up the regular copy of this, and then I also picked up the Red Band edition of this. And so, Marvel started doing this with Blood Hunt. I had picked up 0 copies of Blood Hunt. I was not interested in the story, and they started doing this Red Band edition. So, this is the first time I was like, what the hell is Red Band? How much different is it to the original story? Is it just the colorist, like, adding some more blood spurts to it, or are they actually drawing, like, new frames to this comic book series? So, here we go. So apparently the story starts off is no one how's it happened, as no one lived was there. What is known is that an asteroid burned up to re-entry. Magneto breathed his last breath. And when he died, it released the largest EMP in the history of mankind. Then the northern hemisphere went dark, and that was 10 days ago. So it starts off in Savage Land. We all know the Savage Land story if you followed X-Men comic books. So we got Wolverine in his classic uniform, and good choice. So here is the regular edition. And one thing I noticed with this, you see Wolverine clawing the dinosaur, and in the Red Band edition, he claws the dinosaur, and we got a panel of the guts coming out, and Wolverine covered in guts. So, all right, cool. We got a little bit of extra, like, guts and blood to it. Let's see what else we got here. All right, Nick Fury shows up with S.H.I.E.L.D. I believe it's S.H.I.E.L.D. I have not read this yet. We got Captain America. We got Winter Soldier. Art looks awesome. I'm intrigued about where this goes. All right, so we got a superhero mission. Boom, here we go. Who are the bad guys? Let's see. Oh, there we go. We got Deadpool, we got Sabretooth, we got Red Omega. Red Omega first officially showed up in Jim Lee's X-Men, issue number 3. The only thing different I see within this panel is, let me get to it. Red Band edition shows this rad full-page piece where they're fighting. I don't know why they didn't put that in the original comic book, because that is fucking badass. All right, so let's continue on. Let's see what we got here between the two. Here we go. Here we go. This is the big major difference, and this is why I would suggest picking up the Red Band. So, all right, we got Wolverine getting clawed. We got Wolverine dying. Oh shit! Wolverine is blown to pieces. Looks by Deadpool. Oh, bad Deadpool. All right, everybody's watching. Wolverine is regenerating. To be continued. Red Band edition. Wolverine gets blown up. Here we go. Wolverine starts regenerating. Look at this badass cell right here. And now we got this full piece. Wolverine looking pissed as fuck. I'm going to just keep on buying the Red Band because look at this amazing art that's not even being seen in the original. This is some badass stuff. I'm excited to read this. Does not disappoint. Here are my books for this week. Thanks for watching, and until next week.